I'm Roberta Lombardi, owner of The Elegant Occasion. I've been an event planner for over 20 years, and I'm going to share that knowledge with you at home so that you can open up your house to friends and family and entertain with ease and a touch of elegance. Hello, I'm Roberta Lombardi, creator of The Elegant Occasion. Welcome to my home. Well, summer is finally here, and after a brutal winter and a really wet spring, we are all enjoying the warmth and the sunshine. I love to entertain in the summer, and one of the meals I really love to serve in summer is brunch. I think brunch is a festive way to start the day. I think it really lends itself to outdoor entertaining, and it really lends itself to using all of summer's finest fruits and vegetables. Today, we have a special guest. I'd like to introduce you to Griffin. Griffin is my dear friend's daughter, and really, she's like a part of our family. And Griffin goes away to school several hours away and has 4 roommates. And guess what? None of them can cook. So today, I'm going to teach Griffin how to make brunch for her friends. And then I have a little surprise for you. After the meal is all prepared, I've invited a few of my friends over, and we're going to do a little taste test, see how you did.
Oh, yay.
Exciting?
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm so glad you're home. It's going to be fun. So when we come back, we're going to start with making homemade breakfast sausage. See you in a minute. Back, and we are going to start by making our own breakfast sausage. Have you ever done that?
No, I thought you bought it in the store.
Well, yeah, you can, but I like to do it, one, because I can spice it the way I like. I can add things that I want. I can change it up.
Okay.
But the other thing is, again, it's making it special for the people we're serving it for. You're not just going to the store and getting something that's pre-made. You're doing it yourself. You're showing them you care.
Okay.
Okay? So what I asked the butcher for was a pound of pork butt that they ground up for me. Okay, and now I'm going to add my flavorings. Okay. So can you hand me the garlic salt? So this is 2 teaspoons of garlic salt, and you know I use garlic salt the way other people use salt. Sage, and this is 1.5 teaspoons of sage. And now I need fennel.
Okay.
Perfect. So this is 1.5 teaspoons of fennel, and when I buy fennel, it comes in seeds, but I don't like the texture of seeds when I eat it, so I actually grind it in a spice grinder. I have a coffee grinder, and then I have an extra coffee grinder that I use for my spices, and I grind my spices. Oh, cool. So when you eat it, you're not going to get a chunk of fennel seed. Yeah. It's going to be smooth. And the last thing is thyme. Okay, now I'm going to start mixing. I've washed my hands, and as soon as I get this incorporated, then I'm going to ask you for the maple syrup. Okay. And I like maple because, again, I think of breakfast and pancakes and eggs and all that, and it just gives you that breakfasty flavor. Now, you can make this your own. You could add peppers. You could, if you wanted it spicy and hot, you can even use red pepper flakes. You could put in onions, whatever it is that you want to do to make it, change it up and make it your own. And the last ingredient is that water. If you would just pour that in for me.
It already smells so good.
It's 1/4 cup of water to add moisture. This is so quick. And it's easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now, just going to form these cute little patties. Oh, I need to grab a plate. One second. Okay. Multitask. So you can make them as big as you want. I like them kind of petite, but I do like them a little bit fat. So I just kind of mold it. The more you play with your pork or your ground beef with your hands, it changes the texture. So you really don't want to mix too much, just to incorporate the flavors. Right. See, it almost kind of looks like a meatball, but then when you're frying it, you can press down with your spatula and get it a little flatter. Okay. So we are going to continue to make our patties, and then I'm going to wash my hands, and when I come back, I'm going to show Griffin how to fry these up.
Nice. Okay.
So all we did was drop a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of our frying pan, get it nice and hot, put our sausage patties in there and let them brown on each side, and then turned it down to low to let them finish cooking through. It really took a matter of about 12 minutes, and now we get to taste.
I know, I'm so excited.
Okay,
Got it.
so excited. These are so good. Okay, try.
Yay. Oh my god.
The sage, first thing that hits you, you can tell there's a little bit of thyme. It's so fresh.
I
Those fresh
taste the
herbs.
maple syrup right away. Very good.
Isn't it
And
delicious?
It's perfect for breakfast.
Absolutely. And then, like I said, if you want to spice it up, add some peppers or add some hot pepper. You can make it to go with, something else that maybe isn't quite so breakfasty, but it's a perfect addition.
Yeah.
Think you can do this?
Yeah, I think my roommates are gonna love it.
Good. Okay, so next we are going to fry up some delicious breakfast potatoes using herbs from my garden and some shallots.
Those are my favorite.
I know you love them. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
you're going to be able to make them soon.
Yeah.
Be back in a minute. So now we're going to make the potatoes.
These are my favorite.
I know you
love
love
them.
these. So I've got Yukon Gold potatoes.
Okay.
And I like Yukon Gold because they're very buttery and very flavorful. So whenever I do a fried potato or a roasted, I try to do Yukon Golds.
And why did you leave the skin on?
The skin has a lot of flavor,
Okay.
and that's where all the nutrients and minerals are, so it's really good for you. And I like the color of how golden the skins get when I fry them up, so it's a nice play on color.
Yeah.
And then, what do I have?
What are those called
Those
again?
are your little favorites. They're shallots.
Oh, okay.
And I've just chopped them up, and I use a shallot in place of an onion.
Okay.
Because
Why-
a shallot is in the onion family, but it's much sweeter. So it's not as strong, and it adds a sweetness. So then you have the saltiness with the potatoes, and we have
Salty
our
sweet.
right, exactly. Just a nice play on flavors. So we chopped up about 1 clove of garlic, 2 shallots that we just chopped up fine. We have our potatoes, and then for herbs, I have fresh rosemary from my garden and fresh thyme.
Oh, nice.
And so we'll just take that off and we'll fry it up with the potatoes. You can use any herbs you like. So, I mean, I have a whole garden full of herbs out there, or
Yeah.
buy them at the store. But it's summer, so use fresh.
Okay.
And they're so available. I'll even send you back to school with some of mine maybe
Oh,
wrapped up.
yay, good.
Do you know you can buy fresh herbs, and you can rinse them and put them in wet paper towels and then put them in a Ziploc and store them in your refrigerator, and they can last for up to 3 weeks. So it's not a waste of money to do the fresh herbs.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's awesome then. That's good.
All right, so we're going to get these into the frying pan, and they're going to get golden brown. We're so close to
Yay.
eating. Be right back. Okay, so we're ready to make our frittata, the star of our brunch.
What's a frittata?
A frittata is basically an open-faced omelet.
And why would you make that instead of like a big bowl of scrambled eggs or something?
Very good question. Because when you're entertaining for a group especially, you don't want to have to be in the kitchen at the stove scrambling up eggs or, making pancakes to order so they're fresh. With a frittata, it's easy, it's simple, it looks beautiful, and you can make it ahead of time so that you're not in the kitchen.
Oh, perfect.
You can eat it at room temperature, you can even eat it cold. So it's the perfect vehicle to use when you're entertaining. And also, you can fill it with anything you want. So I change mine up all the time. Today we're going to use squash and zucchini from the farmer's market, and of course, our shallots, and goat cheese, and it's going to be delicious.
Yum.
So the first thing I need to do, I have 2 tablespoons of butter and a tablespoon of olive oil in the frying pan.
Okay.
And I use butter with olive oil so that the butter doesn't burn. If you just used butter in the pan and you got it up to a high temperature, the butter could burn and it will give your food
So when it turns like brown on
right,
the...
and it won't be the most pleasant of taste. So you don't want to do
Yeah.
that. So just a little bit of olive oil in the pan will omit the butter from burning.
Okay.
So I'm going to put this in the pan. Would you just crack that other egg in the bowl and then just put it in with the other eggs? So So what I'm doing, Griffin, is just having my vegetables brown up a little bit before we pour the egg over it.
And why do you have to do that?
Because it will caramelize the vegetables and it will bring out all their flavors. So it'll just be that much more intense for the omelet.
And why did I crack it in a separate bowl?
Because one, if your shell comes apart,
Yeah.
you're not having to dig it out of all the rest of the eggs. And also, every once in a while, you can get an egg that is spoiled.
Ew.
And if you had put a spoiled egg into all these eggs, you'd have to throw them all out and
Ruined,
start again.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
you want to whisk?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, how do I do it?
Here, watch.
Okay.
It's very good exercise for your arms. Whisk away.
Like
It's all your
faster?
stress out. Whatever's comfortable for you.
Okay.
I'm going to add a half a cup of heavy cream. Now, if you're calorie conscious, you could use like a fat-free half and half.
Okay.
I'm just going to add a little sprinkle of salt and pepper.
And does adding that like directly to the raw egg instead of after, does it make it more
Yes, because you're
flavorful?
seasoning. You always want to season as you go.
Okay. Like
You
this
keep
is
whisking.
hurting
I'm
my
gonna
arm.
turn- It's a good workout. You know what? The more cooking you do, you will definitely get stronger. Okay. So,
I
long
think
as
these are
that's
good.
nice and whisked, I'm going to take that
Maybe.
over here.
Maybe not. Good job. Just get.
You just want to get, when you see the little clear spots on the eggs, it means they're not totally whipped through, and that'll leave little white pieces in your egg instead of
Okay.
having it all yellow. Okay, so that's good. Beautiful. I'm going to come over here, pour it right into the pan.
Oh wow.
And at this point, I'm just going to turn my heat down just a bit. Now you see how the edges are
coming
starting
up.
to form?
Mm-hmm.
So you just kind of want to loosen it up around the edges, and then I give the center a stir like I would be doing if I made scrambled eggs.
To like spread out the vegetables and stuff?
To spread out the vegetables and to start cooking the egg. Because we're going to start it here, and then we're going to finish it in the oven. And that's the beauty of making a frittata. It's so easy. Okay, so see, did that much. Now I'm just going to sprinkle some goat cheese. And the goat cheese will just go right down into the egg as it bakes. And this is going to make it creamy, and it'll add a little bit of tang to it. Okay, now I'm going to clean my hands. Turn this off.
Okay.
Put it in the oven. We are going to be good to go.
Looks good.
It's going to be delicious.
And you put it right in the oven in the same pan?
Right in the oven in the same pan, and you know what? You want to make sure that your pan is non-stick
Okay.
because you're going to invert it on a plate. It's going to come out upside down. It's going to be beautiful and golden.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so when we come back, we're going to be ready to eat.
Yay.
Here's today's Elegant Occasion Notes. Have an extra coffee grinder that you use specifically for spices. Grind the fennel to a powder before adding to recipes. Don't overmix your pork, as it will change the texture of the meat when it's cooked. When making fried potatoes, leave the skins on. The skins are packed with flavor and nutrients. Use a shallot in place of an onion, as it adds sweetness to any dish. Rinse fresh herbs and wrap in a damp paper towel. Store the herbs in a Ziploc bag for up to 3 weeks in your refrigerator. When frying or sautéing, combine olive oil and butter together. Using olive oil with butter will ensure your butter won't burn. Crack eggs in a separate dish before adding to recipes, for 2 reasons. First, to ensure eggshells don't get into your mixing bowl, and 2, to make sure that each egg is fresh. Always make sure to whisk your eggs thoroughly. Whisking eggs completely will ensure that your eggs cook up fluffy and yellow every time. When making frittatas, always use a non-stick pan. This will help the frittata flip easily out of the pan and ensure a beautiful presentation.
So we've made this beautiful brunch with Griffin's help. Griffin, I am so proud of you. I had so much fun and having you in my kitchen. It was wonderful.
I loved it.
You gonna come back?
Yes,
Oh,
of course
good.
I am.
We'll make something different.
Yeah.
And we'll do a holiday together.
Ooh, or
That'd be
dessert.
fun. Ooh, okay, that's good. And I've got my friends here, and we're gonna do a little taste test before you go back to school. But right now, I want to make a toast to Griffin.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, honey. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I really hope that I've inspired you to make memories out of simple everyday moments for the people that you love. See you soon.